welcome to Newfoundland and Labrador Studies 2205. This is Unit 3, The Country Grows. I'm Miss Fleming, and this is Section 3, Lesson 3, Changes in Culture, Communication, and Transportation, Video 1. New transportation and communication technology, in the early 20th century, began connecting the people of Newfoundland and Labrador. Health and education changed due to industrialization, politics, religion, and the war. The degree of development varied depending on the community and geographical area. While change was slower for communities not connected by the railway, connected areas changed dramatically, and we are going to talk about each of these categories in the videos for this lesson. Firstly, let's talk about communications. Telegraph lines continue to be built across the island of Newfoundland with Premier Robert Bond's policy of a comprehensive government telegraph system. Between 1912 and the mid-1930s, the Newfoundland government used this technology for mass communications. The Department of Posts and Telegraphs compiled daily news summaries for newspaper reports for distribution. This image here is the Department of Posts and Telegraphs office in St. John's. This public dispatch was transported over telegraph lines on the island via Morse code and over the radio in Labrador. The telegraph officer posted this news on a wall, or read it to local people who could not read. In 1921, some Newfoundlanders and Labradorians began using radio to transmit music and words to others with the appropriate equipment. These dedicated amateurs provided the first broadcast stations. There were also two churches who began radio broadcasts to broadcast church services to shut-ins, meaning people who couldn't leave their home, entertainment, and for information. They were VOWR, which is the Wesley United Church, in 1927, and VOAC, which was provided by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in 1933. VOWR is still in operation. By the 1930s, 7 stations were in operation in Newfoundland, 6 of which were located in St. John's, including VOCM in 1934, which is also still in operation across the province today. In addition to connecting citizens to the outside world, radio became a way to share and celebrate culture, featuring homegrown music and talent. Next is transportation. Transportation improvements also vastly affected the lifestyle of the first half of the 20th century. The railway was the main form of transportation, while road building between communities also began at this time. In some communities, it became easier for people to purchase store-bought goods where they were easily transported into the communities now, instead of having to produce everything that they needed. Instead of waiting weeks or months for mail and news to arrive by boat, residents began receiving news the day it occurred. Residents could travel by rail from one community to another, and regional cultures began interacting and changing. Slowly, Newfoundlanders and Labradorians began to have the tools to see their country as a whole and to compare their daily lives to other places. So now it's time to continue to the next video. There are 3 for this lesson, so make sure you take a break if you need one, and I'll see you in a bit.